kick him out of the building and say, take some rest, get some holiday time in with the family. So he's with them this week, and I'll be sitting in for him for the rest of this week. We're teaming now with You Have the Power, and our topic is protecting yourself in your home during the holiday season. Purse snatching, home invasion, scams, and robberies. Sergeant Sean Paris of Crime Prevention, Metro Police Department, is with us. Yes, sir. And Kathleen Callaghan, the president of the Better Business Bureau. First of all, why don't you two kind of just tell me why this time of year is, well, I mean, is this time of year any worse than any other time of year for these kinds of scams and crooks and nefarious people?
You bet.
Why? How?
More money. People, Sean and I were talking earlier, you can count on people having $300 or $500 extra that they're going to spend in the next few weeks, and they're not the only one that knows that. There's a lot of criminals and con artists out there that bank on that.
And also, I feel like the fact that people get into the holiday cheer and the season and are taking money out of their bank and so forth, and they kind of get caught up in it, and I think that somehow makes them more susceptible to scams. And not only that, the busiest season of the year, letting their guard down a little bit out in some of the public areas and so forth, and sometimes that can make them appear to be an easier victim of crime.
We all go to malls, we shop at malls, we shop at stores. When are we most vulnerable in those situations?
I would say in the parking lot areas. In recent past, unfortunately, we've had just about every crime imaginable occur in some of these parking lot areas. We've had murders, rapes, robberies, purse snatchings, carjackings, a lot of unfortunate violent crimes. So I feel like the parking lot is definitely one area that people need to be especially careful in.
We've got a story we did on an actual case. So I want you to look at this, and Kathleen, you too. Look at this tape, and let's come back and talk about it. And some of the things, this is a real story, this is not a reenactment, that the victim did that she should have been watching out for. And as you watch the story, maybe we can pick up some tips, okay? Sure. Let's watch the story.
On October the 18th in the morning, I was leaving the YMCA downtown to walk to where I work on 9th Avenue, which is a short 2-block walk. It was about 7:30 in the morning, which is the time that we normally go to work. On the corner of Church and 9th Avenue, I met a friend from work, and we were discussing some work information, and got to the main door of the office, and were beginning to open the door when I just felt a slight tug on my purse strap. And I thought at first that it was another employee trying to get my attention, because it was just that slight and no other noise. But as we opened the door, the tugging got much stronger, and then everything sort of went into slow motion all of a sudden, and so many things were happening in just a short period of time. As I fell, I was able finally to yell help, which is the first time that the person who was standing right beside me had any idea that anything was going on. The person was that quiet. And when he heard me yell help, he ran after the person. And just as he was chasing him through one of our parking lots, the man with the purse turned around in a threatening gesture to him, and just at that moment, the assistant police chief, Charles Smith, who was also coming from the Y and has been a friend of mine for many years, saw what was happening there and got out of his car, and they both gave chase to the man who they caught and were able to subdue and get my purse back. This person seemed to me more like an animal who was going to have what I had in that purse, and he was going to take it no matter what. I couldn't let it go fast enough. He was going to drag me, do whatever to get that. So I felt myself being dragged and pulled by my purse strap, which wouldn't come off my arm at that point, dragged to the ground, and I was on my hands and my knees being dragged by the purse strap across the sidewalk and down the curb and then into the street before the purse finally came off. I had, skinned knees and skinned hands that took about a month or so to heal. I always thought that these kinds of things happen to somebody else someplace else. I would expect it not to happen on a busy street with a lot of people coming and going when I was with someone going in the door of a business. And I think really the thing that I have tried to learn from this and try to make some good come out of what's happened is that all the time we have to be aware of our surroundings, and not just, you know, when we feel unsafe, but life is to the point that anytime we're anywhere, we really have to pay attention to our surroundings.
So Sergeant, what should we learn from her experience?